So this time I went to forest already one evening before, and I sleep in van in forest near my home because I thought that when it will be again cold, then at least I can go back to home with quite few minutes. But actually it was nice and warm, and when I woke up around 8, then it was already more than 10 degrees, so it was really nice. Sun was shining and birds were singing. I let my dog out and starting to do some breakfast. First thing, as usual, is always coffee. But this time I wanted to try also something new, and I wanted to make a toast, but I don't have electricity in my van. So I decided to warm up bread and make it crispy on frying pan, and it actually worked really well. Few days ago, one friend came back from Canary Islands and brought me some banana jam. We have tradition that when we travel, I travel or my friend travels, then we usually bring some kind of food, local food, back to our friends, that they can taste it and get also something from our journey. So this time I was at home, but I got jam, and it was actually really good. I haven't eaten before banana jam, so I really liked it. I have at home quite fancy coffee machine, so I basically have to push two buttons and then the coffee will be ready. But here in van, everything takes more time. And it's actually nice to do it like old school way. I'm quite enjoying it. And the coffee with beautiful view is always so good. And if you put more effort to get something, then it's also more special. I like to, when I put away things, kitchen things, food in my van, I like to use small plastic zipper bags because they just take less room. Here you can see one what I'm using for coffee, but I have also one for porridge and for seeds and for so on. I live in a tiny house, so my home is 28 square meters. So I kind of used to with small space, and I have always lived in small apartments that are under 30 square meters. So I'm used to with that. But in van, everything have to be really organized. Otherwise, it will go into chaos quite fast. And less things you have in van, then the better it is. So it's wise to have only those things what you actually need and actually use. It's my second trip, so I haven't completely moved in. I still have some things what I don't have in my van. And still I'm forgetting some things what I should put into my van. But yeah, every time it goes a little bit better and better. I try to do every week one trip somewhere, what takes like 1 day, maximum 2 days. It's my way to have vacation. And Estonia is really small, but there is still for me so much of exploring, because in our everyday life we actually go certain roads, like home, shop, home, school, home, work, home, friends, home, cinema. We don't do actually much of roads what we don't know. Even camping spots, people like to go into same hiking roads because they know what to expect, or they are just near to their home. We have in Estonia, near Tartu and near capital Tallinn, very famous roads where everybody goes. And when Corona hit us 2 years ago, then actually everybody went on those hiking roads, and there was too many people, and there was even police because there was too many people, and they thought that in nature you can also get that bloody disease. So it's actually quite funny to think back that you can't go into nature just for walk. that there is police who is waiting for you and counting how many people there are. But yeah, they did it only a few times and only in bigger hiking roads. But this month, my main goal is to visit different camping spots near different lakes. We have more than 1,000 lakes in Estonia, and most of them, I think, are in South Estonia, where I live. And there is so much to discover for me, actually. So every time now with Anne, I will go to places where I haven't been before. It's actually funny to think that Estonia is so small. It's like nothing, and still there is so many places where I haven't been. Actually, most of the places are where I haven't been. And then from June, July, I'm planning to visit more West Coast and islands. So to be near the sea. And this is my goal at least, or plan. We will see how it goes. I hope that the summer will be really nice and warm. So then the van life is also more kind of fun. I'm still traveling with my dog. And the dog is also much better now with car driving or van driving than he was a few months ago when I got him. Because now he already knows that when I put him leash on, then he knows that we will go to adventure, and especially when we go with car. So he actually waits it, and he just know that going from place to place, it takes some time, and he just have to wait. So when at first he was barking quite a lot, and a month ago when I was also driving into forest and I had to drive like almost 1 hour, then he was barking like 20 minutes a row. It was quite awful because a dog is quite small, but he can make a lot of noise. But now when I'm in car or in van, then he's not barking. But when I go away, for example, to fuel up or to shop, and leave him in the vehicle, then he of course is barking because he don't want to be left alone, and he would like to also come to shop or something and pick up some new snacks and sniff around and have a fun. At first my goal was to go to Spain and travel in EU, but now when the fuel prices are over the roof, I don't know, I'm not sure that I can do it. Today when I was fueling up, it was for 1 liter almost 1.9 euros. It's quite a lot. Last week it was 1.75. So it's changing quite drastically, and a few times a week. So actually when I go fuel up next time, I never know what the price will be. It's a very extraordinary situation because usually we don't have so much big changes with fuel prices during the week, that today is one price and tomorrow it's totally something else. But yeah, we will see. Maybe when the war is over, maybe then something change and it will be more stable. Now when I'm doing my trips, then the places are quite near my home, like around 100 kilometers of my home. So I'm driving back and forth maybe 200 plus kilometers. So it's actually not much. It's totally okay. Every year, especially in winter, I get stuck with my car or whatever vehicle. And from that, I have learned that sometimes I walk distance before I go for a camp, or I drive into camping spot, because forest road can be muddy or some other way problematic, and then there is usually no space to turn around, and I just have to back up a lot with car. So sometimes I just walk few hundred meters before to see how the road is. And here I did the same. And now I'm driving to camping spot. It's Valgjärve. It's about 70 kilometers from my home in Valgamaa, and it's a really nice lake. There is everything. There is actually a few camping spots around it. There is a toilet, grilling spot, dry wood. Everything is for free. You don't have to pay nothing when you stay there. Usually in working days there is not so many people or not at all like that time, but during the weekend there might be some people, and in summertime there definitely are some people. I decided to go also around the lake to do the hike, and it was really cool hike. I really loved it, and I saw also other places for camping around that lake. There is quite few of them, so yeah, it's a really cozy spot where to go. Many tourists who come to Estonia, they usually go just Tallinn or maybe Pärnu or Haapsalu, like the last two ones are kurort towns, and Tallinn capital is also in UNESCO because of Old Town, what is very special. But actually, all the cool stuff like wonderful nature and so on is in South Estonia. And then the other special thing what we have is also coastline. So if you have 4x4 car, then there is so many spots where to just drive all those small places because the coastline is amazing. And also islands. The tickets to islands, this year they raise it up a little bit, but it's still affordable. And also we have many small islands, so those are actually the places where to go, South Estonia and islands, because Tallinn Old Town, it takes like one day and then you have seen already what you have to see, and then it's time to rent a car or have your own car and just go and look around. From media we can hear that traveling in Eastern Europe or whatever, the crime rate is quite high and it's not safe, but actually it's not true. If you go to Estonia to camping or stealth camping in cities, then it's totally okay. And mostly because people just don't care. And those crime people, they don't go to forest, actually. They stay away. I don't know where, maybe in cities or something. So I think camping is totally safe. At least for me, I feel as a woman who is traveling alone, I feel that it's safe and I feel really good. But unfortunately, Estonia is not anymore the cheap country that it was in, maybe, I don't know, beginning of 2000 or 90s. Now the prices are actually the same as everywhere, and especially high is renting a place. If you want to stay like near the lake or near the sea, then the price is really high. Because tourism season is quite short in Estonia. It's basically like only summer, and that's why it's very high and you have to pay a lot. That's why I also have a van, because I just can't afford to rent a house near the sea or apartment or whatever. If for one person it's just too much to pay, and that's why I also decided to have a van to skip the rent. I usually go to my sleeping spots in the evening and leave in the morning. I try to do not much of noise and be as stealth as possible, and I have never had any problem with that. I don't go in the morning and do big camp and stay for whole day. I never do it. Usually during the day I'm driving around and looking for cool spots and places. Thank you for watching. See you in next vlog. So here you see my hike around the lake starting to end. So this month I will be visiting different lakes, and I hope that next month it's already more warm and summer, and I can go with my support on sea. But we will see how it goes. But at the moment there is still a lot of discovering also for me in my land. So my hike starting to end up, and I will be soon see again my van. It was so, when I was in the other side of the lake, then I also saw my van, and it was so cool. I was so happy about it. that it's still there and I can see it from distant in the other side of lake. I didn't see any human when I was walking around the lake, so I was the only one. But it was also working day, and that's why I'm hiking in working days.